Good evening, everyone. As many of you know, I am a Star Wars nerd, and I'm freaking proud of it. I don't deny it. I've been a Star Wars fan ever since I was a little kid because of my brother. He used to watch the movies all the time, and I used to watch them with him. When I was little, I didn't care for The New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. My favorite, the original trilogy, from the original trilogy of Star Wars, is The Return of the Jedi because of Palpatine. When I was little, I didn't know his name, and I used to call him the Ugly Man. I was a little kid, but in my defense, he's an ugly ass dude. Um, but Return of the Jedi is my favorite because of more fights, more drama, and Palpatine. I always thought he was a cool villain of the Star Wars, and I still do. And when back in BOCES, a friend of mine, Kyle Brewy, used to bring these Star Wars action figures because at the time, in the 90s, it was still a thing. And when I saw it, I was very fascinated by the figurines. And I started collecting them myself. And I stopped collecting them when I was 9 years old. If I had the figurines still and not opened, it would have been worth something. I would have sold them in a heartbeat if they were really valuable. I don't know how much they would be if I didn't open them, but anyway, my brother is the reason why I got into Star Wars. I used to play Lego Star Wars, actual Legos when I was a kid. I was never into building Legos, but I just like playing with them. But I played the original trilogy Star Wars Legos video game back when I had the PlayStation 2. I used to have the VHS of Star Wars, but now I have the Star Wars on Blu-ray combo pack. And I also have, and the only Star Wars actor I ever met was Poe Dameron himself. Back 2 years ago, I saw him in a play with Keegan-Michael Key, a play called Hamlet. To be or not to be? That is the question. And after the play, Oscar Isaac came out and greeted everybody, including me. And this was the day that was my birthday. And it was the best birthday ever, to be honest. When I said, oh my God, this is the best birthday ever. And he said, it's your birthday? And he just grabbed my hand and shook it. Nice gentleman. And I got a picture with him too. I gotta say, this is a really good shot, and I need to get this framed. But so far, the only Star Wars actor I ever met. He's a nice guy. And I still say, still the best birthday ever. And last Christmas, my brother got these Jets bobbleheads, Sam Darnell and I don't remember, I think Jamal Adams, his name is, and they were in the Star Wars costumes. Sam Darnell in a Rebel pilot and Jamal Adams in the Stormtrooper suit. And I got this about a month ago, I got this really cool poster. Hold on, let me show you. and it has all the signature, most of the signatures of the actors who were in it, like Billy D. Williams, um, Liam Neeson, Ray Park, even Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing, James Earl Jones. And I gotta say, this is the most sickest thing I ever owned. And to be honest, there's a... Hold on. Hold on, let me stop. Okay. And there were certain things I could not resist, and that poster is one of them. And I do not regret buying it. I love this poster. I also got to watch Star Wars Mandarin. And I'm considering doing Disney Plus. People recommended me to do Disney Plus. My brother recommended me, and my friend Joseph Palacete. Joe and I are both Star Wars fans. And the Star Wars Rogue One, I was not crazy about that movie. I gotta say, that is the least favorite Star Wars. I haven't seen Han Solo Star Wars, which I also gotta see as well. Oh, anyway, how I got my Star Wars figures. When I was a kid, I mainly shopped my Star Wars figurines at Toys R Us, sometimes Walmart, and sometimes Target, but mostly Toys R Us and this other store that used to be across from Target in the Galleria Mall. It was called KB Toys. That's where I also got my Star Wars figurines, most of my Star Wars figurines. Star Wars came out a decade later after Star Trek, which I also like too, but Star Wars will be my number one pick. My best friend David loves Star Wars. We're both Star Wars fanatics. Sorry, you guys. My brother's the reason I got into Star Wars, because it's that bond we have. Because we didn't really watch a lot of films together. Probably Disney. I remember my cousin Brian Yusobiaga. When I was at his house, he had a golden Star Wars, whatever it is, figurine. And I gotta say, that was the most coolest thing I ever saw. My favorite Sith Lord is Darth Vader. Oh, and one time I did a book report on James Earl Jones for Black History Month. I already posted something about this, but interesting fact, he was a stutterer. Surprising, but he was. I'm always gonna love Star Wars no matter what. And I am never selling this poster. I'll have this poster till the day I die. And I was so blessed that I got to meet Oscar Isaac. That's my how I got into Star Wars story. Have a good night, everybody.